Welcome to the Midcoast Podcast. New shows every Tuesday with your hosts, Chris, Matt, James, and
See, I
Chan.
be higher than most. Top of the dollar, keep your eye on the coast. I see you wave a mile away and don't alert, I just post. Running out of evil, so the work getting slow. And they be tripping on the render, but be loving the post. Focus where you headed, how you cope on the road. I wanna fly out the city, wanna take you somewhere clean. Know you moving on to bigger, better things. You know I'm on the ring, you know I'm on call. You looking like you getting it, gon' fall. I'm dipping on the lake.
Welcome to the Midcoast Podcast. James Watkins here, the host today, checking in from the Midcoast with Shannon in Minnesota as well. How are you guys doing out there, Shannon, Matt, and Chris?
You know what? Midcoast, I'm doing pretty good, enjoying the day.
Chris,
Doing great here on the West Coast.
Matthew,
I'm doing all right. It's hot, but whatever.
hot in Florida. So yeah, it's been a little bit since I've chatted to you guys. Wanted to check in and see how we're doing lately. You know, any updates with life or any crazy things happening or normal stuff during this pandemic?
I got a quick one for you. So I was on the roof today, and
Yeah.
I came down, and the lady was like, "Did it rain on you while you're up there?" I was like, "Nope, this is all sweat." So I started dripping on her car and stuff. It was kind of gross. I kept trying to wipe it off, but whatever. That's how it goes.
Oh man, do you have a towel that you carry with you or something like that when you're out there?
I couldn't find it when I was looking for it today, so no.
So you do carry a towel.
Don't forget your towel.
That's rough. And Chris, how about you, man? How's it going?
Just still seeing the same four walls because of quarantine, because we're actually still shut down here in California, so not much open. Just the outdoor eating areas, but everything else besides that's pretty much closed. So just home, pretty much, unfortunately.
Did you get out at all? Any outings at all? And that?
I did go to a brewery today for lunch just because it's my buddy's birthday, but typically I stay home, or maybe I'll meet like my parents or something, grab something small like locally, and try to stay safe, keep our masks on, and kind of follow the guidelines set here. So we're abiding by them pretty well.
I would say the mid coast and the left coast are a little different. When you're in that brewery, are people standing 6 feet
Yeah,
apart?
so you have
That's,
to, when you're going to the table, you have to have your mask on. All the tables are over 6 feet. I would say probably closer to like 10 to 12 feet away. So they kind of limit the numbers, and it's only outside eating is available here. So that's kind of how they're addressing it. And hand sanitizer stations, pretty much an abundance of those at most locations. And that's kind of like the norm here now, the new norm, as you can call it. Masks and hand sanitizers.
Does the hand sanitizer smell like your favorite vodka?
They do smell like alcohol a lot out here, like tequila, vodka, because maybe a lot of those companies are switching over. I don't know, but you like spray it and you're like, oh god, this is really potent, this stuff here. But yeah, it is what it is. You just you want to be safe for other individuals and for your family's sake. So we just kind of take it as it is. And
all right.
Side note.
Yeah.
I don't like the Wawa soap. It stinks. Just so you guys know. The hand soap.
Wow, I think I've only been to like one of those. We don't have them up here in the middle. And you, Shannon, man, how's it going? Anything new with you over the past couple of weeks?
Damn. Guys, we know I got engaged, right? Did we cover that before? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess my only thing that's new is my dog peed on the floor last night. I was pretty upset about it, but that's all that's going on over here.
Yeah, that's rough. I hope you didn't have to do too hard of a correction with the dog. My dog, he lately, like it's been raining a lot, so we don't go outside too much for playing. And whenever I don't play with him, he'll literally sit across the room from me and then like lay his head on the ground and just look at me like, you didn't play with me today. just like the saddest stare, man. Like he gets me so bad with that. But
What's
yeah.
your favorite dog park?
Ooh, my favorite dog park would be St. Anthony Dog Park. It's close to the golf course off the Parkway, St. Anthony Parkway in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Minnesota. It's a good place, though. I do like it. Really big, long, open field with what are they called?
Dogs.
Wood chips. Yeah, they go through wood chips, so they don't get too dirty. I guess not. There are some holes and whatnot, but I love that dog park. People are pretty nice. They also get really weird. Every now and then you run into somebody that's really weird about their dogs and playing. Sir, that's too rough. No. Like they're
Please.
clearly having fun.
Don't let your dog hump my dog, please.
Yeah.
My dog gets jealous when I try to kiss my fiance. She was like pawing her in the face, like, back up. Don't kiss him. Back up. And then she turned and started like double pawing her, like, back up. This is my man. I'm like,
Get off
"Hey,
my
get
dog."
out." What about you, Chris? What about that dog that you see, whenever you want to holler at ladies or something?
He's just chilling. He's living the best life.
You assume. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The only update I have for me over the past couple of weeks is today I watched somebody tear their Achilles.
Oh.
Oh
Oh.
boy.
Does it make you reminisce about your tear?
Yeah.
A little bit. Not so much of PTSD or whatever you want to call it, but just I kind of got angry that he was even out there at all or how it happened. This guy was about 40 something, pushing 40s, and before he's literally said, I haven't played in 2 years, man. It's been 2 years. And then he gets out there, no stretching really, maybe a little bit of shooting around. And then he's out there jumping and cutting and running and giving it above that 80% effort threshold that you don't cross when you're 30. And sure enough, triple threat, pow, just goes down. And it's like, people are like, don't walk on it. And I'm like, okay to walk on it. I drove myself home. Just don't go to urgent care. They can't do anything for you. Call the orthopedic surgeon and figure out how you can just get an appointment. So
Did you give him advice? Did you
Yeah.
give him? Yes.
yeah, I told him walk and drive yourself home and don't go to the ER. You want to save yourself some money.
Yeah.
And
There's
you told him to try to get up on the tips of his toes just to test it.
Yeah, I did tell him to test that because his didn't look like it balled up.
Mhm.
So like when you tear it, it's connected to your calf and all that. It balls all the way up.
Gosh. All right,
There's-
next subject, bro. I can't handle that.
Just real quick, there's no pain really. I mean, there is pain, but you don't have very many nerves down there. You'd be surprised. But moving on. So this week we got a few good topics. The first one I'd like to talk about is the sports and the state of sports dealing with the COVID pandemic at the high school level, the college level, as well as the professional level.
So just skip over baseball because no one clearly cares about that based off I think episode 5 or 6. Just skip over that, even though everyone seems to be getting sick and catching COVID and that. But anyways, skipping over baseball. Anything besides baseball.
Anything besides baseball. So recently, I would say, and I can speak for Minnesota, the choice of, we'll start at the smaller level, high school sports was decided to push that back to the fall. I'm sorry,
September, right?
The spring.
the spring. The fall
Oh.
sports get pushed to the spring, but also in a way that the kids don't have to choose between a fall sport traditionally and a spring sport.
So kind of just making everything later.
They push the spring sports a little bit further back and the fall sports a little bit earlier than when the spring sports would normally start. I want to say the end or beginning of March-ish.
Well, I know NCAA is doing the same thing. So they're making football, NCAA, and all the sports push back as well. So it's a very similar situation. And out here, too. And here, school starting is kind of an issue itself because still things are closed, but private schools are open and private sports might be starting. It's kind of all over the place out here. So it's a little bit different take. Florida, I'm probably sure everything's still open and everyone's still going to school and playing sports, right? Right, Matt?
It appears a lot of Florida schools are trying to petition to start in October. They're trying to push it back to October and things like that, according to the Orlando Senators. So we'll see if that happens, or if not, I guess if it's not October, then they'd push it to February, January, I assume, like everybody else.
So what do you guys think about, going into sports, going into the topic a little bit further is the NBA bubble, and they're kind of wrapping it up right now. I think they have the playoff seeds. There's some first seed, second seeds. I know the Lakers clinched the first seed, I believe, in the West. So how do you think they're handling it with all this going on with the COVID? You think they're handling it pretty well?
I personally think that the bubble has been a great example of, if you take some proper measures, you're giving yourself a better chance, is what I would say. They haven't had that big breakout yet. That could happen at any time, but they've done a pretty good job, I would say, from the outside looking in.
I'm just waiting on that international game. Come on, baby. No, that's not happening, is it? Sorry, Mexico City.
We won't be there this year. What do you think about the bubble, Shannon? Have you caught any games at all or watched that?
A little bit of attention, not too much. I think as long as the players can just actually follow the rules, they'll be fine. But, we have some players that might think of going outside the NBA bubble, possibly putting themselves in a situation that might affect the rest of the bubble. That's when things can get a little bit tricky. So as long as they can follow the rules, we'll have basketball, which is cool, which is a lot better than baseball. So
But that's the counterbalance, right? For baseball is that since they're open towards going out and they're seeing their family and they can still go to restaurants, whatever, et cetera, and they're traveling, is there's a lot of open cases, right? I think there's 40 something players in my notes that I was saying that been tested positive with the coronavirus, and they've been pushing back games and et cetera. So it's kind of a nice counter look in the whole situation where you can see a league doing it one way versus a league doing it a completely different way. And I think they're at two different points in the league, but maybe it's a good take saying, okay, since baseball, you're starting your league, maybe it would have been good not to do the league because a lot of traveling and a lot of games and et cetera. So it's a nice little counter thought of how things kind of work. Like James' predicament, or I mean, what James stated earlier, saying it's a good look if you follow the rules and kind of abide by them, what can happen. And where baseball, it's if you're out there traveling and doing et cetera, like going out to restaurants and seeing family and stuff, you're more likely to catch it and get it.
Right, and even from a just from a numbers or probability game, it makes more sense to have it in one place. I would say more control. There's less factors.
Mm-hmm.
do the players in the NBA bubble get to see their family, Chris?
Not that I know of. I know we're going to discuss this a little bit later, but Lou Williams got like permission and he had to go to the NBA executives and commish and get approval for just going to a funeral. So to go to a funeral, you had to get approval. So that's kind of a little different than MLB, where you can, you're going home after the games, you're going home after practice. You could go down the street and go to that brewery or whatever.
Yeah, and it's a little interesting. I did hear that the players are getting a little cooped up. We'll call it lonely. The topic of conjugal visits has come up quite literally, like on even sports talk, which I think is kind of funny. What do you guys think about that? The fact that the NBA players are standing up going, no, we need some girls in here in this bubble. How about you, Matt? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm sure they're sneaking people in. They have to be. They're NBA players. I'm sure they're used to getting it on the regular, either from their wives or from Instagram. So I'm not surprised that they're like, come on, send some even hookers. I'll pay for a hooker right now.
Sliding in the DMs, can't go
Right.
nowhere. The
I'm
maid,
sure.
they're just put in like 20s. They're like, pay a little extra.
That's right.
How about you, Shannon? What do you think about that?
Man, that's so interesting because it's like you're a professional player. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. You should be able to just like chill, at least until the playoffs is over. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. I want them to just like get it done, win, whatever team win, and just like after that, then you can do what you want to do. But I'm not in the bubble, so I don't really know.
Hey, man, they have access to
Hey,
the pools and
actually,
golf courses and stuff.
Chris.
I'm in my own bubble. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Hey, just because I'm single during quarantine, yeah, this bubble sucks, and I don't have conjugal visits. I don't. I can't slide anyone DMs. I can't do anything like that. I think if it's their wife or significant other, I think it brings a different aspect to the whole situation, because you would assume your wife or significant other is going to take a little bit more precaution if they know they're going to go into that area in advance. Where if it's somebody that they're, sliding into the DMs, as we're saying, or maybe a booty call or whatever you want to call it, might just be spur of the moment where you don't know where they've been, you don't know where they've gone and who they've hung out with, where it's your wife or significant other. They're pretty much probably around your kids. They're probably pretty local to the area already because they, just in case anything happens. So I think it brings a different aspect, but it's also unfair too, right? To the single players. It's like, well, why can your wife come in? Why, and I can't bring in my girlfriend or my Florida girl?
How about
That's
this?
right.
I would be fine if like the significant other slash wife, whoever, would get tested before and kind of go through the same thing the players had to go through, and then like entered the bubble, did what they had to do, and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The way it is right now with them sneaking people in is kind of weird to me.
You think they're gonna pass somebody's wife around? Oh, she's clean.
Oh,
Let's
Oh
go.
no!
oh, that's messed up.
I don't think LeBron's gonna let that happen. Oh, that was his mom. Oh,
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 that's bad. Why
say-
that have to
shout
I
be
out
thought
to
of
his
Delonte West right away.
shout out to Delonte West.
Poor guy,
Uh,
man. He's like homeless right now, or like at least unfortunate. I'm not sure if he's homeless, but
I hope he's all right.
that was very ratchet.
One other thing related to that I did want to bring up, I wanted to get your guys' opinion on is with the whole pandemic and sports in general, college football. We've seen a few conferences recently decide they're not going to have that season and push it back, and there are still conferences. I believe the SEC and the Big 12. We're moving forward. What do you guys think the NCAA? I guess I was going to be the question would be about power. Do you think the NCAA is going to be able to stop the SEC from playing football this fall? I feel like that's the real standoff there, and we'll start with Shannon on that one.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna stop them if they want to play football. I'm so torn on this because I really want to see football. I love football, like college football, especially college and pro. But if they want to have it, they're gonna have it. If the players want to play, they're gonna play. I don't know if the NCAA can stop those guys.
I think it just brings so much liability, because you have some minors playing, you have players under 18, you have parents involved, you have non-money, right? No contracts. You kind of signed a liability waiver. We all signed that at the start of the season every year. We signed that liability waiver for the NCAA and that you won't take these drugs, et cetera, et cetera. But it's something different because you're putting kids that are not working. They're not working for the NCAA. They're doing it for scholarships and maybe a little other benefits, but with no monetary value. What type of aspect does that bring? That's kind of the
Think
question.
think about this, Chris. The money that the school is gonna make in the conference. That's a big motivator to have them play.
No, 100%. I agree with that, tenfolds. But if a kid gets sick and dies at practice because it is a respiratory disease, right? And we've seen that in the past where there's a college guy that dies on the field and then it becomes a big lawsuit, a big whole ordeal. But now you're exacerbating it because now it's well known, it's well documented, and you're bringing that risk inherently. You could see a lot of lawsuits coming. I'm kind of thinking about the whole other way. It's just I could see him pushing it back. I think they're going to do what the high schools are doing, and hopefully things settle down in the spring. Is what my guess is.
yeah, it seems like they're really gonna chop this thing down. I see a lot of pushback for it to be next, early next year. So, and it seems like a lot of people are joining. The FCS, all those guys are joining with the NCAA president and saying that they're not going to play. So more people continue to jump on that and say that they're not going to do this and put their players and their folks at risk. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not really from a state where football is known for being great. We're state of hockey, but I just picture the whole South. Like my daddy's played football and his daddy played football, and we gonna play ball this fall. Like the SEC just seems so powerful to me. Like it's such a crazy conference and it's so much money. Like we can't even think of, like, it's ridiculous how much power they have. But I think to your point, Matt, when it's all said and done, all those other schools and organizations banding together to push it back, they're going to have to fold at some point.
Well, I think you got to see what type of bylaws and contracts that the SEC has with the NCAA, right? Because they sign contracts to get TV rights, to play in their tournament. So you can see maybe they might be breach a contract if they choose to play where everyone else says no. So now you're taking that into effect as well, where they might even end up hindering their bottom dollar anyways for the fact that they pursue to play because you're taking out of consideration all the other leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's too messy, right? I think the deck stacked against them to continue.
Yeah, just look how messy it was, going back to what we were talking about originally is professional sports. Look how messy it was and look how long it took things to get into play for them. And, there's a lot of money in professional sports and it still took a long time to get, the bubbles, the players on board. You're just adding another whole aspect now that you're bringing in potentially minors and kids or college students that aren't being, paid to play. So it's different.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's very complicated. Hopefully they all fold and move to the spring. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment, bad advice with Smither. Damn. No.
What, Smithers? Did you say Smithers with Mr. Smithers?
Smithers.
Mr. Shannon, here's up.
Dabba dooba dabba dabba.
So
Before I give you guys the bad advice of the week, I wanna say to all those people out there saying that all we do is talk about raunchy and sexual stuff on the bad advice. Well, what else do you expect? All right, we got to be entertaining. What else do you want from me?
Wait, all those people? You mean your dad and your brother?
And my girlfriend, mainly.
We only have 3 viewers.
Hold on, she's gonna kill me, my fiance.
We're gonna see her with a knife.
recorded.
Fiance takes a lot to say. It's easier to say girlfriend, but fiance just takes too much. It's
Why are you rubbing your titties when you say fiance? Fiance just means too much.
Also, it wasn't me. It wasn't me rubbing.
Matt, the rubbing your fiance. Oh man, let's reintroduce the segment, James, please.
Planning clear well. All right.
Titty rubbing Matt.
All right. Coming up, we have bad advice with Mr. Shannon Clearglover.
All right. The bad advice of the week is we are going to pull our best Kim Kardashian and we're going to try to get famous. So find you a Ray J and get famous. And if you don't know what I mean, you're either way too young or way too old. That's the bad advice of the week. My question is to you guys, if you got paid in the end and you got famous, would you do that?
How paid?
What'd you say?
How paid?
How paid? How much?
Oh, how much money?
Everybody has a price, my man.
Well, you
Okay.
get Kim Kardashian famous.
Kim
That's
Ka-
what
yeah,
you're assuming you're going to be Kim Kardashian famous off of it, right? So you find yourself a Ray J, you get Kim Kardashian famous. Boom. Are you doing it?
I have to find a Ray J, or like, can I get famous with my own
Man.
dong? Whatever.
Nope, we got to find a Ray J.
You got to find the Ray J.
Find a Ray J. Mm.
But
How-
Kim Kardashian famous.
To my first point, how much? That's so.
What's her net worth?
What's she worth?
Hundreds of millions.
I know. Her net worth is probably crazy.
Let's look that up.
She's like right behind Oprah, probably.
Okay, you're looking at $90 million or $900 million.
Damn.
Net worth $900 million.
Man.
Find you a Ray J.
All right. So I'm gonna say to that, I would.
Find yourself a Ray J?
I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I would. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. $900 million, son. Damn.
Her net worth's $900 million.
For like an 8-minute video?
I'm gonna say, look, I'm gonna say no, but when I pull up in the Range Rover, people are gonna ask, you know what I'm saying? No, that's silly. That's silly. No, I probably couldn't do that because then everybody would know how I got rich, and I think I'd feel bad about it.
But not really. People love Kim Kardashian and they kind of like blow past the Ray J and that she was a porn star. They really do. Like, you don't say, well, porn star Kim Kardashian. They say reality TV star / fashion mogul. They don't say, well, that one time in Ray J,
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm not really into Ray J like that. So
you gotta find your own Ray
Okay,
J.
what if it's just
Be mad.
yourself? What if you use yourself and whoever else you want, but you don't get nearly as famous?
Do I still get the $900 million?
Now we're talking like
Half. Yeah, half.
$400,000 a year. Famous.
Oh yeah, I'm in there. I guess I would do the brave thing and step into the public light. How about you, Chris? What?
But I'm not finding myself a Ray J, right?
Well, if you want to find a Ray J, fine. I mean, it's $900 million. I could see why you would find a Ray J.
Uh, I don't got an ass like that. I don't think I'd get $900 million. So
We can create one.
that's true.
Medical miracles. We can find you a Ray J.
I'll do the James one where you just find somebody to take the 400K.
Okay.
Matt.
And Matt?
Yeah, I
He's
don't think I would. No, that's not worth it, man. Especially people ask you. People know, you know what I mean? People know, and who knows how like painful and like how you're gonna feel ashamed.
What if it's like the Paris Hilton video when it was like a night mode or whatever, where it was
That
like
doesn't make it any better. You're still
night vision goggles.
getting rammed by a dude. Like no, it's like night mode that softens it up a little bit. Thanks. Like no, still.
Yeah, maybe
still-
see the penetration as much or something. I don't know.
But you feel it. That's most important.
You also feel that $900 million in your bank too.
I mean, I'm fine with 400,000.
You're,
I'll still be able to live my dreams with that, you know.
yeah. But 900.
But Matt, 900 million, you'd be the straightest guy on the planet, guaranteed.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah.
I would be the straight. I can buy my straightness back. Like
You
what
can
does that
buy
mean?
your straightness back. Yeah.
You
Like
can
Monopoly, you could buy Park Place, you could buy your straightness. You know, it's one of the
tighten it
squares
right
you
back
win
up. Snap that anus right back up.
Yeah.
With some kind of Hollywood doctor.
Shannon, are you 900 or 400?
I'm going with the 400.
on.
400,000.
What if we doubled the 900?
Oh my god.
That's too much money. It doesn't even matter at that point. Like 100 million is already like all the money you need or want, and now you're just adding for no reason. Like it doesn't matter at that point.
I don't know, man.
What if you kept your anonymity, but you just got $900 million? You're just like, no one knew, but you and Ray J got it on. $900 million.
It still hurts.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't have to tell.
No,
Damn.
no one knew.
No. I don't have to admit to that then, because then you would never know. All right.
That's a
I'm-
yes.
Say no.
You got to come up with an excuse though. Like, how'd you get the money? Please tell me something. How you got that money?
I hit the lotto, baby.
Oh, okay.
Invested in Amazon
Like,
stock.
do you want to sit down? No.
No. You have
gonna
to
stand
invent your own
forever.
chair, your standing chair. My legs are tired. My Achilles is gonna about the bus.
How did you break your back again, man? Oh.
Listen, the girls never came.
All right.
Jay's $900 million richer though.
$900 million. Where'd you get that $900 million from?
Okay, so let's say you chose the 400, right? Would you still tell people, or would you not? Or would you keep it a secret,
But it's
Chris?
with anybody you want. You could be
Yeah.
a girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you tell people, or would you keep it a secret?
Maybe I'll make more money off that if I become a famous porn star. I'll tell people. What do you think of my performance?
But what if you're hella small too? Like you got a
I'll say
little one, and
I'll say it's
everybody
cold
saw
out.
it.
I'll say it's cold out. You know, it was outside. I'll make sure it's outside.
It was a cold day.
It was a cold day. My foot was in some ice. You know, ink was bad.
He's not a performer, guys.
Yeah, I got a little nervous, camera shy. You know, I don't see you out there trying it. That's what I would say.
And then drive off in your Ferrari.
Yeah, but like smell this.
All right, I got the next segment here. Would you rather? So I got would you rather here. Just one question. Would you rather hit every green light when you're driving or never have to wait in line again? I'm gonna say that
Never-
one more time. Would you rather hit every green light when you're driving? So basically never have to wait at a red light again, or never have to wait in line again?
Hold
And
on,
we'll
wait a minute.
start with, what is the question here? Do we need clarity?
No, I
Listen.
got it.
Isn't waiting at a red light not waiting in line? So if you never waited in line again, you'd never be stopped at a red light.
Okay, standing in a line then,
Yeah, okay.
I
standing in line, yeah.
like a
Oh, but-
grocery store or a theme park or something.
But if you go even deeper, you're actually behind a line when you're at a red light. And if you're on a motorcycle, you could be standing.
Shut up! I knew I knew somebody was gonna say that stupid
I'm
crap.
joking. I'm joking. No, Shannon, I'm just going with it.
I'm sorry.
understood it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, we'll start with Chris on this one.
I would never wait in line again because Disneyland and theme parks and grocery stores would be amazing. And I could just save way more time, I feel, if I'm not standing waiting in line via Shannon's comments. But red lights, whatever. I don't really drive much. So I'll take the red lights.
Hey man, that 900 million will get you right through those lines too, man.
Find me my Ray J.
So never have to wait in line for Chris. How about you, Shannon?
I'm gonna go with never have to wait in line, and then I would walk up in the DMV like a boss.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
I
What do
wasn't
you
even thinking.
flash a badge? Like, nah, I'm good.
Right, straight to the line. Real ID, easy to get.
and you, Matt?
Yeah, I'd go with line as well because sometimes you have to, like, you're eating or you have to check something while you're driving, and that red light saves your life. So I don't mind stopping there, here and there. So
Okay. I think I'm team never having to wait in line again. I could see the driving part too, though. You would really be able to plan your day very easily. There's no factors, extra factors in there. You literally can see what you have on the Google map, and that will be the time that you get there. It doesn't matter about
Well,
traffic.
I think that just shows that Matt drives quite a bit for work, so I guess kind of puts a damper in my thoughts. So-
what stupid thoughts do you have, Chris? Go ahead and tell us.
No, I was just thinking if you drive more, maybe you would take the light segment versus the line.
Yeah, it's mostly highways, so it's usually not too bad. But I did drive like 3,000 miles within the last week or so.
Mm.
So it's been rough. Rough. I'm going crazy, bro. I need some sleep.
Do you have Waze?
Yeah, I do have ways.
Man, you must have a lot of points sometimes when I'm playing Waze.
I don't use it.
Oh, come on,
You just asked
man.
if I have it. I do have it, yes.
Don't use it? I'm sorry.
So I got to do points, like I got to touch people and talk to them or something.
You gotta touch people.
Well,
Nah,
as you drive it
touch
along, I
people.
think you get points for distance and pointing out hazards or thumbs upping and thumbs downing
Okay.
alerts and things on the road.
Sounds distracting. Cool.
Come on, stand your
Sounds
ground.
like
I'm not.
sounds like a hazard itself.
Right.
Man, you know what? Whatever. I'm not gonna.
I'm just
die
trying
on
to
that.
get that ad money. Come on, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
Google
I'm
owns
not
it
gonna.
anyways, so.
I'm not gonna die on that hill. Fine, fair enough. But last thing I'll say about it is my mind went to a darker place. I was gonna pick the green light, but I went with wait in line. But I did think if you had to wait in line, what if you just chose that and then you got your legs broken and you were in a wheelchair and that's why you got to go to the front of the line? It's just like the monkey and the wishes type of deal. Like, I want all the wishes in the world. All right, you get to be the genie.
What
but
if the same thing you can say for the car? What if you just never drive again, so you're never rating him behind the red light? You're like,
Close your lights.
nah, you ain't gonna. No more
Yo.
driving for you. Stuck at
He
home.
never hit the light again.
Because I have the same thing.
Just walking. All right, let's move on from that to Netflix recommendations, or obviously Hulu or whatever other streaming service you use. I think we all have some type of streaming service, and I want to hear what you guys have been watching and what you'd be really willing to recommend to the crowd out there, our listeners. Let's go with that.
All right, on Netflix, there's this really good show called Sense8. It's dope. You've seen it, Shannon? It's
Yes, I've
awesome.
seen it. It's a
It's
great
good
show.
Yeah, man. It's about these 8 people that kind of have senses. So one person might specialize in fighting, one person specializes in like driving, and then sometimes moments during the show, something crazy will happen, and they'll switch with the person that can drive really well, and they'll get out of traffic and run red lights, or someone that stands in line really well. No, that part's not true, but
terrible superpower. Damn, bro.
no, but it's cool because they kind of switch, and then they kind of figure each other out, and they're like, what the heck? There's someone across the world that has this power. It's a cool show, Sense8.
Yeah, they're all like kind of connected together, so they can feel each other's feelings. It's a really cool show, really cool concept. And yes, they do have sex with each other at one point in the show. So watch it.
It's a good show.
Nudity?
Okay, that's 8. And how about you, Chris?
Schitt's Creek is what I got into recently. Have you guys heard of that? It's a
Yeah, it's
Canadian
a great show.
Yeah, it's a show based in Canada, and I got into that show, and I recommend it. It's funny. It's like dry humor, kind of English style of humor, where it's very dry, very sarcastic. So, yep, Schitt's Creek. The best thing is there's this billboard with the town's old mayor or town's family member with his sister, or actually it just shows a lady bending down in front of a dude standing behind him, like kind of like arms up, and the guy's like, "Hey, that sign's not appropriate," and he's like, "Why? That's his sister." It's like it's perfectly appropriate. It's like, "Yeah, but can't you see?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, it's his sister." So then fast forward, and then he puts a sign saying, "It's okay, it's his sister," and it's the same sign with the guy standing behind the girl bent over, and it's like, that's pretty funny. So it's kind of like that style of humor.
All right, I like it. And Shannon?
I've recently been watching Moesha. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's a show from I think it
Yeah,
was either the late '90s or 2000s,
I think we
but it's
talked
on
about it in
Netflix.
episode 2, right? We kind of talked about Moesha a little bit.
No, that was a different show. That was a different black show, like
No, I thought
'90s
it
black
was.
show. No, it was Living Single.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Living Single.
Yeah, it was Living Single, which is also a really good show.
Yeah.
So check it out. It's like a '90s black sitcom. They're always good. It's pretty funny.
Moesha was good. I used to watch that one. We didn't have cable, so we watched I watched Moesha, and then I rewatched Living Single, and I did watch that too. And I was like, oh, I remember this episode. So I watched it based off your recommendation.
What I would recommend is the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I've been binge watching that recently with my lady friend, and it's about a group of children who are all born on the same day and they have abilities, and they were brought together by a crazy cuckoo dad, and basically a lot of daddy issues, and the world is going to end and they have to stop it from happening, and it just kind of takes off from there. That would be my best explanation of that one. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
Yeah, I did watch a few episodes of that, but I do want to continue watching. I think they just came out with another season. Do you know?
Yeah,
Something
they
like that
came out with
recently?
a second season on it. I just started watching that. I would say that first season doesn't pick up the pace till about the 5th or 6th episode, and then it just takes off. So
I think you have to do that. You have to watch at least. My theory is you have to watch at least 3 episodes before you could even judge a show. Like, because the first one's always intro, giving you the backstory, introducing like the characters, and sometimes that carries over to the second one, and then the third one's like typically the meat and potatoes, right? It's where it's starting to get into the premise of the story. So I typically give episodes or shows about 3 episodes.
Very nice of you.
I have a question for you guys. Does it seem like a lot of black people like anime?
ooh, yes. I would say yes, and I would almost say that it makes sense to me, because when I was growing up, it was kung fu, and then it became anime. As far as what I, in my experience in the black community, like people, like my uncles, friends, neighborhood, like they love Bruce Lee and all those movies and Jet Li, and watching anytime a star from the Far East made it over in America as a action hero, they'd eat that stuff up, and it just moved on into anime with Dragon Ball Z and other things, and now it's kind of just part of the culture, I would say, to some degree. How about
I
you?
don't know. I like anime, so I maybe it's a generational thing too as well, because I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up, and all the other shows that were kind of famous at the time growing up as well. Pokemon, Digimon was kind of like big when we were little, right? So do you think it's generational thing where it kind of came over in a big wave when we were young and we kind of absorbed it and then took us on to these other aspects, you know?
I think that's a
I
good
think
point.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I agree. I think what was it, like middle school, whatever years that was, the early 2000s and late 90s was when, like, I believe anime got huge over here with Dragon Ball Z is what I started off, and then Pokemon came a little later. So actually, it was about the same time, and so I think that's how it really started. I think it was just that wave that you said. Makes sense.
Yeah, everyone our generation always has their like one anime show that they really grew up watching. Some was Dragon Ball Z, some it was Naruto. I believe I'm
Naruto.
pronouncing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone it just seemed like everyone had their show that they watched. Mine was Dragon Ball Z because again I didn't have cable growing up, so that was on like channel like 13 where I live. So I'd stay up, or actually I'd wake up really early. It was like on at 6 a.m. and I'd go watch Dragon Ball Z, and me and my cousin would VHS S tape them and like share with each other, like the ones we didn't catch. So we'd like pass them along.
You actually just
Uh,
reminded me. I think one of my first animes I watched was Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, yeah,
It used to
that's a
come in the
vintage one.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Sailor Moon was a good one.
Too
Ghost
good.
in the Shell kind of came out when we were in high school. That was like a big one for a long time.
I'm trying to think of older ones that we maybe have watched. Like before Dragon Ball Z, there was Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, I like that better than Dragon Ball Z, to be honest. That was more funny, more humorous behind it, and all the powers. You didn't have a long episode of him screaming. So now on Dragon Ball Z, him screaming for 35 minutes.
I guess you could say
Shannon, when we were in college, Shannon used to watch a lot of anime, and we used to sit there. What was some of the ones that you watched, Shannon?
I still do, and I'm trying to get my girlfriend into it as well, which is harder than it looks. But no, I watched a lot of Naruto. Some good ones right now are Demon Slayer. Have any of you guys seen that one?
No.
I've
Um,
watched.
that one's a really good one. The Promised Neverland is a really good one. Yeah,
Oh,
there's some great ones out there.
real quick. I heard. I just lost it. Oh my gosh, what's that one? Where he's trapped in a game, and you put like the headset on
Sword
and you go
Art.
into Sword Art. I heard that's a
Sword
good
Art
one to start your
Online is
yeah
that's a
to start
really
your girl
that's a
on,
good
because it,
series.
like a romance or whatever, she might kind of form a bond with like the main female character. So Sword Art Online, try that with her, see if she likes it. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard it's good. But I love Attack on Titan and those vicious ones, so I can't really have her watch that.
I would
Dude, Attack on
recommend.
Titan is so crazy.
It is.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is ridiculous. I read the manga, and it's it's light years ahead of the anime as far in
Really?
terms of the story progress, but it gets real. I'd love to see the anime get to that point
That'd be cool.
if it continues.
Where do you read the manga at? I want to get more into that, to be honest.
Probably
I
buy him, right?
cannot say. Yeah, buy them. Perfect. Yeah,
Buy
buy
the
'em.
the paper copies, the
Yeah,
books.
Buy
I
him.
buy
I don't
all
even know where to
of them.
find that.
Yeah,
Online on
I
Amazon
tribute to
or
whoever.
online services that provide books
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah, there you go.
The
Online book.
bookstore, the online bookstores.
Yeah, I would also recommend the if you haven't, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would be a
Yep.
good one to get your girlfriend into to dip her waters or her toes into the water
Yeah,
on
that's a
that.
good
All
one
right.
too. That's one of my favorites.
That
Man.
one's really it's an emotional jerker and good progress, character development, and
Edward.
if you have you seen that?
I
Shannon?
haven't seen that one.
Oh,
No, I haven't even seen that one.
yeah, that would be perfect. If you don't see it either, I
James.
recommend.
Edward.
Edward.
Edward. Oh my God.
Oh,
I almost died during
you're
that.
gonna find that out in like the first 5 episodes.
Oh
It'll be
my
out.
God.
We go from Netflix to anime. We're so diverse here, guys. We cover so much ground.
All right. So, got a new segment here for you. It's called Earmuffs, Hot Shit or Not Shit. A game where I'm going to read you guys some events that may have been true or not, usually true. And you get to answer if it's hot shit or not shit and give a brief explanation why. So, do we want to decide on the order? What order, or do we want to mix it up? Who wants
Well,
to
we've
go
been kind of
first?
starting with Shannon, so let's keep it that way.
We'll do Shannon, Chris, Matt. Okay?
Okay.
So, hot shit or not shit. Earmuffs.
You're supposed to say that before you say this.
Yeah.
Say it again. Earmuffs. Whatever. It's explicit anyway, right? Technically. That's what I was told. Producer told me that earlier. Recently, the former cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, Kemba Siverand, was cut from his team after being caught trying to sneak a female into the hotel bubble that his team was quarantined in at the start of camp. Starting with Shannon, is this hot shit or not shit?
Not shit.
And why is that?
It's not shit because now you don't have a job, buddy.
Fair enough. And Mr. Chris, hot
I'm gonna
shit
say
or not shit?
I'm gonna say it's not shit. He lost his job, and it's gonna be tough to get back in the NFL a little bit after that, especially if he's a undrafted free agent or a low draft pick. It's definitely not shit. Gave up your dream for some pee.
Do you? I would get. I don't know if he's a high draft pick or not, but I would be willing to guess if he was. They cut him because of that. He probably didn't go in the
Yeah.
first round, right?
No, I was saying to my buddy, I was like, he's definitely under. If he got drafted, he's under 4. He's like the 5th and down because he's just like, nah, it's not worth it. 4 and up, you'll put up with it because there's a lot of
Brief
potential
explanation.
of draft picks.
No, this segment is supposed to be a brief explanation.
Sorry, my bad.
And,
He kindly said, "Shut up."
and
Moving on, Matt.
Matt, how?
Man, that's hot
or
shit,
not?
bro. That's hot. It's worth it, man. Yeah, man, maybe that's his future wife. You don't know. He had to go get it. He had to make sure that it was legit. And this is the best circumstance. It's like sneaking it when your mom falls asleep. And then you just plop her right on that carpet in your mom's bedroom because that's the only warm place. And you pop off. That's what you got to do, son.
Yeah.
Short explanations, Matt.
That was
And
still
Rick-
short, but shorter than yours.
That was. I wonder. I mean, I would just hope that after being cut, he did at least get to meet up with that girl he was trying to sneak in, and they had relations.
No, she was like, "You're no longer in the NFL now."
Right.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
oh. Okay, moving on. Let's start with Chris on this one. Closing the elevator before someone else can get on, so you're riding by yourself. Hot shit or not shit?
That's hot shit. That's what we got to do during quarantine time. Just close that shit. Just see him coming. Like, nope, he's coughing. I'm pretty sure he was coughing earlier. Just close that. Write it up a lot quicker. And maybe you have to take a shit. Just saying. Got to get there quick.
And Matt, hot shit or not shit?
That's hot shit. That's boss moves right there. That's what you got to do to these people, man. They think they expect you to be kind, but now's not the time to be kind. Right there, boom.
And Shannon, hot shit or not shit?
100% hot shit. You do that even before quarantine. We were doing that, and you know what? As you press that door close button, look them in the eyes. That'll really get them.
Is that more bad advice? What the heck? You better save that.
You ever do the pretend like where you stick your hand out and you're like, oh no,
Oh,
okay,
you're pretending to push the button like,
no, sorry, my bad. Going up.
It's just so fast. This is a quick elevator. I don't know. That's a good one. Next up, this one we'll lead off with Mr. Matt on this one. Lou Williams, the NBA bubble, sneaking out allegedly to go to a Atlanta strip club that was known for having excellent chicken wings. Hot shit or not shit, Matt Howell?
Not shit, bro. Really? For some chicken wings? But you said strip club at first. But I was like, wait a minute. Oh, chicken wings? Nah. Not shit.
Not shit. Fair enough. Shannon?
I know you guys heard my stance on the bubble earlier, but I'm going with hot shit on this one because he still got a job.
I agree. Chris?
I'm gonna say not shit just for the fact that you can cost your team the playoffs on that. You know, that's probably about it.
I would say hot shit only if all's well that ends well. And he has his job in the bubble. He didn't bring it back. Just gonna have to deal with the fallout from the chicken wing saga.
Chicken wings.
All right. I'm gonna do one last one. This one's a new one off the cuff. It was not part of the original programming. We're gonna start with Mr. Matt Howell on this one. Rubbing your breast while talking about your fiance. Hot shit or not shit?
It had nothing to do with what I was saying. I just felt like touching them. I did 50 push-ups this morning, and they're feeling kind of right. You know what I mean?
Right, damn. I'll back off.
They feeling good.
All right. Well, if you'd said you had to lead with the 50 push-ups before you, but fair
Hey, I
enough.
did 50 push-ups.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't touch them. Bro.
way less.
I didn't know the order. I'm sorry. I'm not shit for not knowing the order. My bad.
All right.
Last time he's touched breast was his own.
Ooh. Said.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah, I guess so, because I just did. I just did. Babe, come here, babe.
One viewer's like, I'm never listening to the show again.
Thank you for listening to episode 8 of the Midcoast podcast. You can find us on streaming services. Can't believe y'all showed up. No.
All three. Thanks, Scott. That's about it for listening.
Thanks for listening. Add us on Instagram at Midcoast Podcast, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and share with some friends.